The next few episodes of our series on the Ottoman Wars will cover both land and naval battles, so we hope you are ready to dive into one of the most complicated periods in these conflicts. On the sea, the Ottomans were trying to consolidate their power after the victory at Preveza, while on land, the conflicts around modern-day Hungary and Croatia continued towards their culmination at a number of sieges. After the failed siege of Vienna in 1529, the Ottoman Sultan Suleiman I returned to his capital. Although his vassal John Sepoya managed to restore his positions in Hungary, the situation in the region was still very much in flux, and the Habsburg heir Ferdinand was not planning to stay idle. According to the Ottoman sources, his messengers visited Constantinople in 1530 and demanded Suleiman stop supporting John, which was refused. In response, Ferdinand moved his troops and attacked John, starting the so-called Little War. The Habsburg advances were largely successful, but weren't able to take the capital, Buda. New ambassadors were sent to Constantinople by the end of 1530, but despite the fact that their tone was more conciliatory this time, no agreement was reached, and Suleiman started gearing up for a new campaign against the Habsburgs. According to the sources, the Sultan mobilized more than 100,000 troops for this offensive. The army left in April, and by July, many Habsburg fortresses in Hungary fell to the Ottomans, while the lands in modern-day Slovakia, Slovenia, Austria and Croatia were raided. Suleiman's forces outnumbered Ferdinand's, so the latter retreated towards Vienna, leaving an 800-strong garrison under the Croatian noble, Nikola Jurisic, to defend the crucial fortress of Kurseg. At the same time, in order to avoid an open conflict against the Protestant leaders of the empire while he was still fighting the Ottomans, Ferdinand was forced to sign the Nuremberg Religious Peace. The sources are conflicted regarding the siege of Kurseg, but it seems that the Ottomans thought that it had a much bigger garrison since it defended a road to Vienna. So first the vizier Ibrahim Pasha and then the Sultan surrounded it and used all the artillery and siege tactics they had in their repertoire. The garrison repelled 20 assaults and refused to surrender. The rains started early that year, and the imperial army was forming up in Regensburg to move into Hungary, so Suleiman decided to retreat to Constantinople. Emperor Charles V and his son Ferdinand knew that a new Ottoman invasion may happen in the future, so they sent a number of envoys to the Safavid Shah, Tahmasp I, between 1529 and 1533, renewing the treaties previously signed with Tahmasp's father, Ismail. In 1533, the Safavid Shah started inciting rebellions against Suleiman in the frontier regions, and that was enough to make the Ottoman Sultan sign the Treaty of Constantinople of 1533 with the Habsburgs. John Sepoya was recognized as the King of Hungary, while Ferdinand was to keep the western portion of the country and pay 30,000 guldens in yearly tribute to the Ottomans. According to a peculiar clause in the treaty, Emperor Charles promised to only use the title of Emperor in regards to the Ottoman Sultan. With that, Suleiman started his campaign against Tahmasp. He sent letters to the Shaybanids, and they attacked the Safavids in Central Asia, which pulled Tahmasp's forces away from the front. This allowed the Ottomans to take the enemy capital Tabriz and then Baghdad with ease, but further invasion was stopped by the Safavid Shah somewhere in the Zagros Mountains. The Ottomans lost tens of thousands during the battle there, and due to the weather conditions, Suleiman decided to abandon the campaign. Still, the Ottomans gained territories in the Western Caucasus, Iran and Iraq,